Welcome back to the channel. Today I have this wonderful Takamine acoustic guitar to share with you all. So I got this at Specialty Traders in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Great store. It is technically a B stock model. So I got it for about 1/3 of what the new price is, even though myself and the store clerk, neither one could find where any sort of blemish was. And it is a P6NC. This is a wonderful, wonderful guitar. Almost definitely the nicest acoustic guitar I now own. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I got the specs up here so I don't miss anything. This is the Takamine NEX body style, which, this is reading from their website, combines the power of a dreadnought with the balanced tone that perfectly complements the vocal range. It features a resonant solid spruce top with scallop X-top bracing for superior balance and articulation, and a solid flame maple back and flame maple sides. The flame maple back on this is just amazing. That is just tremendous. That would make a PRS private stock jealous. So I'm assuming that it is laminate side, since they don't say solid. They definitely would if it was. Ebony fingerboard, beautiful snowflake inlays made in Japan, mother of pearl rosette, the CTP3 cool tube preamp system that pairs with the unique Pelathetic undersaddle pickup. Nice EQ, 3-band EQ on here. I know you can't read all that, but onboard tuner, split bone saddle, has excellent intonation. It's just a great guitar. And again, comes with this, let me show you this really quick too. Wonderful hard shell case. Very well padded. Comes with its own strap here. Keys for the case. Great case. So, again, I forget if I said, but I got this guitar. It was about 1/3 off the price of what the brand new price would be being a B stock. It is, which is tremendous. I got parts. This is, even though I went and bought it myself, some of this is a Christmas gift from my family. Some of it is me getting rid of a couple of beloved guitars to pay for the rest, and then just some extra out of my pocket because this is not cheap. The full retail price for this now, I think the price has recently gone up, $27.49. I can't remember. I think it was $17.99. At was the price that I paid for it, which is whew, for this level of acoustic guitar. Because if you don't know, Takamine acoustics are played by some of the biggest artists in the world, and my hero, Bruce Springsteen, in recent years has mainly played the non-cutaway version of this live. He also plays, I think it's, I'm trying to remember, the EF341, I might not be getting that exactly right, the black one, which is less expensive. They also had one of those. That's absolutely beautiful. I've had the inexpensive version of that one for, I think this is the day after Christmas. It would have been 20 years ago yesterday. I got as a Christmas gift, but the full-fledged version was just beautiful in person, sounded great. But what really set it apart, and what I think sets these guitars apart for a lot of even the top end in the music world live performers, are the Takamine electronics. It sounded, I plugged them both in to an the acoustic setting of the Boss Katana they had in the store. The black one sounded really nice. This one just sounded amazing. The best I've ever heard an acoustic guitar sound that I've played plugged in. So this was the Cool 2 preamp is the real deal. So that, and I can remember when the black with the 341 might not have came with a case at the time, like 20 years ago. You could get it for like $800 or $900 in Musician's Friend. Just a few years ago, you could get it for like, I think like $13.99, $12.99. It is now, I think, $18.99. So to get this guitar, which is further up their food chain, for lack of a better way of putting it, for less was, tremendous, and I just couldn't pass it up. Because again, that's a lot of money for a guitar, even on such a good deal. But thankfully, family contributed as my big Christmas gift, and I sold a couple guitars, and again, the rest paid out of pocket. But without just rambling on, because I know you all are mostly more interested in the guitar itself, the music that I release and record, 95% of it is full band. But 99% of the time when I am performing those songs, it is just me and an acoustic guitar. And I wanted to upgrade what I had. I love my Acoustasonic. It's great for what it is. I love my Epiphone Dove, which is what I usually play live. I have a great Martin OM, which at the time it was made, it was the cheapest Pennsylvania-made Martin. But I'm sentimental about that one, so I don't like to take it out live places. So this will be great, because as much as I love the Acoustasonic, there are sometimes you need I hate to not say the Acoustasonics a real acoustic guitar, but a real acoustic guitar. And I'm really looking forward to playing with this, and I think its tone will record well too. Even though it's a Dreadnought, it just has such a great tone. And let me say, I played some Taylors that I absolutely loved, but the deal that this specific guitar was, in fact, one day when I'm financially able, at Pied Piper in Charleston, West Virginia, I played a Taylor 314 CE that I just absolutely loved, and then a 414 and a 412, both of which I also just loved. But they were, I think the 314 that was $21.99, the 412 they had was $27.99, and the 414 was $29.99. And of course, those were all full prices, and those are great guitars. But the deal on this one was just literally too good to pass up. So I know you'd like to hear how it sounds. So what I'm going to do is mic it here with an SM57, point it right about here from, about a foot away, and get you some tones. I'll get some plugged in tones, and we might add a couple other fun things before this video is over. Okay, I have an SM57 about a foot away, pointed between the 12th and 14th frets here. The perspective on the camera is a little funny. And let's get you some sounds. That was some of my original song, Shadows of Venus, and I can already see and hear myself playing that live on this guitar, and it sounded great, and it complementing my voice well. Now, let's get you some basic strumming sounds. playability, and including great playability way up the neck here. And with this cutaway, you can get all the way up to the 20th fret with no problem. Great playing and sounding guitar. Okay, now let's get a little bit of finger picking. Okay, and now let's get some plugged in sounds. Okay, now I'm going to run this directly into the Focusrite Clarett Plus 4 Pre audio interface into my computer and get some recorded direct in sounds. And for this, the settings are going to remain the same. I'm going to put the cool tube on about 5. Okay, let's look at this great guitar in a little more detail. We have the solid spruce top with a very nice grain pattern here, as you can see. The split bone nut that has the pelathetic pickup elements underneath. Beautiful rosette there, it's mother of pearl. See these great snowflake inlays in the ebony fingerboard, which looks and feels fantastic. The frets are just, try to get them focused here. You can see the craftsmanship here. The fret ends are perfect. They are perfectly polished. Maybe the nicest frets on a brand new guitar I've ever encountered. See how beautiful the binding is and how well it's done. Again, this was made in Japan. Moving up, have a bone nut, perfectly cut. The guitar is perfectly set up, brand new. Have gloss black headstock face. Have Goto tuners. And let's flip it over here, take a look at the back. As I said in the beginning, just an absolutely gorgeous flame maple back there, solid flame maple. Does come with strap buttons. Beautiful wood grain on the neck as well. See the Goto branding there on the tuning machines. Just a beautiful guitar. And now we will take a closer look at the electronics. Okay, we also had this sheet which came with the guitar in the case. It's an explanation of how the Takamine pelathetic pickup works. Shows you have the preamp located near the neck, pickup under the saddles, and it shows where the in-pin jack is. And try to get this in focus and get the glare off of there. But you can pause this and read it if you're so inclined. But basically, it's not a typical undersaddle transducer. It has it says on here, a more fully realized amplified sound, and that's one reason that I picked this specific guitar, is it was such a great system. So feel free to pause this and read it. I won't read it to you and waste your time if you were not so inclined, but I think this was very interesting, describing how this great pickup works. Okay, I'll now go over the control panel for the electronics, and the guitar did come with a very helpful owner's guide that explains all these great features. So starting with the cool tube control, it lets you set the amount of the guitar's pickup signal that is applied to the CTP-3's vacuum tube. Turning this control clockwise increases the tube effect. The notch allows you to reduce feedback from 0 Hz to 5 kHz. The notch cut level select allows you to select the frequency range of the notch control for reducing feedback, -6 dB or -12 dB. Volume control, self-explanatory. The standby switch is the warming up switch for the tube. To get the sound right away when you're plugged in, leaving the standby switch on will drain your battery. The standby status LED indicates when flashing that the tube is warming and the preamp is not ready. Solid on means that it is operational. The mid-frequency control tunes the mid-range EQ center frequency from 250 Hertz to 5 kilohertz. This gives you the flexibility to enhance or reduce the mid-range content of your signal at precise frequencies. And again, volume control is obvious. You have a 3-band EQ. It has an adjustable frequency mid-range control. Each slider enables you to increase or decrease the power of sound in a designated spectrum. Low for the bass range, high for the treble range, and mid will allow you to adjust the boost/cut at the working frequency in conjunction with the mid-frequency knob. The aux PU slider allows you to adjust the level or blend of a secondary pickup which may be used with the CTP-3. Using an input on the rear of the preamp lets you blend a medium impedance pickup with the signal from your built-in saddle pickup. So again, a lot of great electronic controls here, and you can see why these guitars are so popular among so many artists at the very highest levels for playing live, because you have this great amount of control in the electronics and all these wonderful ways to sculpt your sound. Okay, at first I was hoping to get you all a live performance with the Takamine, but due to serious circumstances beyond my control, that's not going to happen within the time frame I want to get this video out. But I have another idea. I will do a comparison back to back, not blind, just back to back, with this guitar. This is an Epiphone Dove Studio Pro. I think it retails for about $450 now, so it is roughly 6 times less expensive than the Takamine. But what they have in common, though they do have some differences: maple. So spruce top, like the Takamine, maple back and sides. This, though Epiphone does not explicitly say it, I am sure that this is laminate maple all around. The Takamine has a solid maple back and laminate sides. So we'll just do some simple sound comparisons between the two to give you an idea. Obviously, this one's not a cutaway, the Takamine is, so it's not a one-to-one comparison, but just give you an idea. I can say that though I absolutely love this guitar, it is an amazing guitar. I still can't believe it's only about $450. The finer appointments on the Takamine are definitely better, but I mean, for the price, this is fantastic. So let's just get a quick sound comparison between the two. hope those sound samples were helpful. The biggest difference I heard was the Epiphone Dove wasn't quite as full sounding, had a little bit more going on in the treble range and the upper mid range maybe, but it wasn't as full and rich sounding as this guitar. The biggest difference in playing the two is this asymmetrical neck feels great, and it's a little on the chunkier side. I say that as someone who's mainly an electric guitar player. Not as thick as the neck on my Martin OM, but it is definitely thicker than the D-neck shaped neck on the Epiphone, which is rather thin. So those are just things to consider. And I actually think the Epiphone held its own very well. This is definitely a nicer guitar, but the Epiphone, again, is a great guitar for the money. So where does that leave us with this one? I absolutely love it. It is definitely the nicest acoustic guitar that I've ever owned. It is beautiful, plays great, sounds great, best sounding acoustic guitar plugged in I have ever heard. It's just amazing. Not cheap at full retail price of about $2,700–2,800, but I think it is definitely competitive with other guitars that I have played in that price range, and a lot of it comes down to personal preference. I don't claim to be an acoustic guitar aficionado, and I know there are people that really go into fine detail when it comes to discussing such things. But for me personally, having played comparably priced Taylors, there's some things I like about this one better, and there's some things I like about the Taylors better. I think the Taylors, this is a great neck, don't get me wrong. We're talking about things that are on a scale of 0 to 100 or like a 99 on one and a 96 on the other. I think the Taylor might have overall, for an electric guitar player mainly, slightly more comfortable neck. This is a great neck and I absolutely love it. In fact, I almost feel bad saying that. But I think this one sounds better plugged in. And then a lot is just so individual. Because like, for example, during that guitar journey, I played a Taylor 314C at one store, wasn't impressed by it for the money. Thought it was a nice guitar, but I thought this isn't worth $2,200. A few days later, played in one at a different store, and I absolutely loved it. Thought it was amazing. So I think even more so with acoustic guitars than electric guitars, though it applies to both. But acoustics, I really think if you can play them first, there's a bigger variation from model to model. Now, I think that's, and again, I say this knowing that people debate such things endlessly on the internet and in the comments. I think it's because where the wood plays a bigger factor. It plays a small factor in electric guitars, but obviously it's the whole thing in an acoustic guitar. And that's a much more, you can't, how's the simplest way to put it? However many winds of the same kind of wire with the same strength magnets are going to produce pickups that are almost identical, but two different pieces of maple are not going to be identical. So when you're getting most of your sound from pickups, that's different than getting most of your sound from wood. And that's not to say nothing of the feel and things like that. But this one, I was blessed to get this wonderful guitar. Beautiful guitar. Again, that beautiful wood grain. And again, I can see why that the Takamines are so popular with so many of the most prominent acoustic guitar playing stars in the world. Why Bruce Springsteen plays them, why the late great Glenn Frey played them, why Bob Seger plays them, the great Matty Rice on SNL plays the non-cutaway version of this, because they are great guitars and they sound so amazing plugged in. And I think they sounded great in my sound samples, but I don't even think that fully did them justice. So if you get a chance to check out this or another one of the higher end Japanese-made Takamines, do yourself a favor and make it happen, because they are wonderful guitars. And I mean, there's all kinds of wonderful acoustic guitars in the $1,500 to $3,000 range, from Takamine, Taylor, Yamaha, Martin, Gibson. Though you're probably, when you're talking about the Martins and the Gibsons, talking a little more money to get the really, really nice ones. But if that's the price range you're shopping in, which again, unlike electric guitars, I think you do have to spend a little more to get a comparably nice acoustic guitar. I think that you can't go wrong with this in that price range. I think it's a wonderful guitar, and I can see why so many people who could literally spend $20,000 on the acoustic guitar they played live play these. Because you know Bruce Springsteen could play, you know, if he wanted to play an original pre-war Martin live, he would do it. But he plays this. So feel free to leave any questions you have below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on rocking.